Hey Joe fans, I'm JoeFan82, and tonight is a very special live stream. I have with me a very special guest, and I think we're going to wait a minute for some people to come in. But let me go ahead and introduce Marcelo Bugna. He is the CEO of Urutoys, who has a brand new Kickstarter for a brand new 1/18th scale vehicle, the Nightwolf. And we'll be going into great detail on that in a couple minutes. But first, I wanted to remind everybody, if you weren't here last week, I have enabled Super Chat for this channel. So if you're on, watching live, you can always go and do a Super Chat, which will enable you to give a donation to the channel. And if you type like a message or something in there, it gets highlighted and pops up, and it's very visible. Last week, Classic Action Figures, if you're here, if you're watching now or in the replay, I saw that you donated $1, but it wasn't highlighted. So I don't know if you didn't type a message in or what, but I did see it, so I wanted to acknowledge that. Thank you. So that Super Chat is here. And if I don't see it, if you do that and I don't see it, please let me know. You can always email me about that, gijoefan82@gmail.com. I see people are now streaming in here. We got Gaz, Juan Carlos, Bill Pagan. Hey, guys. And I want to just real quick, I want to go over to my back end on YouTube. I just want to check something real quick because I realized as I was talking that I might not be able to see if somebody does the Super Chat. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Once I start doing this more often, I'll get a hang of it here. So hold on, guys. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, here we are. Whoops. No, this is not made for kids. All right, now I think we're set up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest again because I'm not sure if you guys. All right, so again, I've got Marcelo Bugna here from Urutoys. He's got a brand new 1/18 scale vehicle that's on Kickstarter right now. And actually, Marcelo, why don't you go and introduce yourself? And while you're doing that, I'm going to put a link for your Kickstarter in the chat. So you go ahead and tell everybody who you are and what you're doing, your background with G.I. Joe.
Okay, hello everyone. As you can say, my name is Marcelo. I'm a G.I. Joe collector like all of you. And I really like a Real American Hero series and new sculpts from 25th anniversary from now. And my favorite G.I. Joe vehicle is the Sky Striker. And also collect some other brands like Marauder Task Force and Power Team Elite, especially the vehicles. And well, from the hobby, we start now with something more, the next step I call. It's like, well, I really like Real American Heroes, but when the new Sculpt came, 25th anniversary and that, I realized that the vehicles were too small, especially someone like, I don't know, the AWI Strikers. The thing that really pissed me off was when we have a new Sky Striker with only one passenger inside. It was like, oh my God, this could happen. So I decided to create a vehicle that is able to fit any kind of figures. And that's what I have in the background. It's the Nightwolf. And it's now in the Kickstarter, is live. And well, it's a 2-year process. It took a lot of time to do it. and also the situation with the coronavirus was I have to suspend the Kickstarter for a year. It was supposed to be live in March 2020, and it's live in March now, 2021. And well, I don't know. That thing happens, and I think it's for a reason.
You said because of COVID, you had to delay it a year?
Yeah, we have a delay with COVID because of the people in China was closed, and well, we need to produce it somewhere, and we didn't have a budget until October of 2020, and well, that's the reason we have to postpone. I was supposed to be in Toylanta last year, and I couldn't travel because the flight was canceled, and all that kind of things. Also, I was supposed to be at the Joe Fest in July, that was postponed to September, and couldn't make it anyway because the flights were all suspended. And that's the things that we have to struggle to make this happen. But well, we didn't quit. We are here and we are trying to make it happen.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised because I didn't find out about it until a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago or something. It showed up. I forget where I saw it, maybe on Facebook. So I was surprised. And you're partnered up with Zica Toys, who has also done some successful Kickstarters. They've done Sectars and a couple other things. Their most recent one didn't fund for Sectars. I'm not sure why, but I've heard a lot of good things about that line. What are they? What is your relationship with them? What are they doing with this?
Well, with Craig from Zica Toys, we met from Facebook. I was trying to find a factory in China and couldn't find one that makes vehicles. Lots of factories in China make figures, action figures, but to find one who is able to make a vehicle is pretty hard to find. And I contacted him, and he liked the Nightwolf. He said, "Oh, we can do something with this one." And we joined together in this kind of, I don't know how to say it, but adventure, let me say. And okay, say, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? And that's it's kind of a weird story because we don't even know each other in person. We just chat and talk by messenger and all this kind of thing, but we never have a meeting in person yet. We will do it someday, but it was like, okay, I like your work. I like what you did with Sectorus, and let's do something. Okay, let's try to make a Kickstarter with an iPhone and see what happens.
There's probably like a lot of people that have worked together over the last year that still haven't met in person. Yeah. It's kind of just the world we live in now, right?
It's kind of weird, yeah.
Yeah. I want to see if I can go ahead and show everyone. Well, before I do that, I want to just take a quick break and acknowledge a couple of people in the chat have commented about HCC 788. He's going through a little bit of tough time right now. Marcelo, I don't know if you're familiar with Hooded Cobra Commander 788. He is a big-time G.I. Joe reviewer here on YouTube. He does vintage G.I. Joes, 82 to 94. That's his goal, to review every item in the Real American Hero line from 82 to 94. And he's going through a little bit of tough time right now. So if you have the chance, head over to his channel or find him on social media. Send him a message that you're thinking about him. And we all wish him well. And he wants us, he's asking for patience while he kind of gathers himself together and hopefully can return to his videos as soon as possible. So I just want to throw that out there for all you guys. And so now Marcelo sent me a video of the Nightwolf that I want to attempt to show here for you guys. So hold on. And let me start it back here.
The Nightwolf is a modular vehicle in 1/18 scale. You can use it with all kind of figures. We have a special price of $60, which includes all the combinations available for the Nightwolf. We need the help and support of all of you guys to make this happen. Thanks a lot to all those fellas who already support our Kickstarter, and please tell all your friends and collectors about the Nightwolf Kickstarter. Let's spread the word. Follow us in Facebook, Urutoys, and Instagram, uru.toys, for more updates.
All right, and we got some really nice images here of the Nightwolf, and it's coming in 3 colors, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
The one we're seeing right now, the like tan or sand color, dark green, and black. Those are the 3
Those
options.
are the colors available, yeah.
And this is looking really nice. Now, I wanted to ask, so there we got a shot of all 3. Are the tires on this, are they plastic or rubber?
They are rubber.
Oh,
the
they
prototype
are.
is made of plastic, but the tires will be in rubber.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's nice. And here we go. Here's an image that I wanted to make sure everybody sees the size and scale of this vehicle. It's quite large. It's not like a regular Jeep size vehicle. So looks like you've got a sort of modern figure there right next to it. And yeah, it's not a little dingy thing. So and here it is, kind of geared up with a bunch of figures. And I've got some more still images here that will show a closer look with the figures inside. And let me go over to that now. So here is that, we saw that one already. This is the three options that you can choose, or if people want to purchase like one of each, that they can do that, right?
Yeah, right.
Or if they want to do 10 of each, they could.
You can purchase 10 for sure. It's okay.
And something in the video, you said it's $60 per vehicle, right? So if they order 2, it's each one is $60, correct?
Yeah. What we try to do with this Kickstarter is that this is a modular vehicle, because you have not only 3 colors, but you also have 3 combinations of guns on top and 2 other combinations on the back. I have here, do you want to show it?
Yeah, hold on. Let me go.
Yeah.
Let me take this off, and we'll bring you up full here, so you can do that.
Okay. So this is the first one. That is the cannon. Then we have the rocket launcher. You can see there, and the gating gun, or some people say it's a laser gun. You can decide what is. And also you have in the back, you can use it like a pickup truck, or you can use this one is like to cover protection.
And that's, I wanted to ask about that piece right there that you have. Is that easily, you can swap that, take that on and off, and it won't break or anything? It's
like tap it and it's there. It's easy to put inside or remove. And also you have this variation that is like an open cage. Those are in the back. And that's the reason why it's modular, because if you make numbers with the combinations, you have 3 colors, 3 different variations on the guns, and 2 different variations on the back. And if you consider the pickup like another variation, you will have a third variation on the back. So it's like you have 27 different combinations of the Nightwolf.
And the Kickstarter, if you purchase one vehicle, you get all those different options, right?
Yes, that's the promotion of the Kickstarter.
But so if the Kickstarter funds and you have, and you're selling these afterwards, you won't be able to buy, if you buy a Nightwolf, you're not going to get all those combinations.
That's correct. Yeah, you will only have the base Nightwolf, and as you can see in the picture that were the 3 colors, it only comes with one gun, and if you want the rest, you have to buy it separately.
That's this one. So that's the basic.
This one is the base Nightwolf. Yeah.
Okay. And I
The
think
idea of the Kickstarter is giving the backers something else, an extra.
Right. And I think you wanted to, you actually have prototype there with you, right?
Yeah, I have what I call prototype 1. It's that green vehicle that you saw in a picture. As you can see, it's a big one. Also have a bump here, so you can see the size. It's pretty big.
Definitely a noticeable size difference.
Yeah. I consider the Nightwolf a truck. It's more than a Jeep, right? Basically, we inspired in the Oshkosh. That is a big one too. Also bigger than a Hammer. And I have also here the interior of the prototype, where you can see that fits any kind of figures. You have some, let me turn it. Here's the Real American Heroes and 25th anniversary, and you have a Power Team Elite on the right. The idea is that you can put any figure you have. Something that didn't happen when the new sculpts came with the Real American Hero Series vehicles.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of that, let me go back to these still images, because in here are, so you showed off the figures there with you, but in these still images, we can actually see them inside the vehicle. Yeah. Like, here we go. So these are modern figures that actually have headroom, and there's space between their head and the roof of the vehicle,
space,
which doesn't always happen. But it looks like they fit great. And I would prefer to put a vintage figure in there and to have him maybe not so tight, but maybe a little bit loose, versus not being able to put a modern figure in at all because it's too tight.
Yeah, and that's the idea. Is you can put any kind of figures, and of course, vintage figures are a little small, so you have more space. But we designed the seats so the figure can fit perfectly. You have a space on top from the head, but that doesn't mean that the figure will sit correctly.
Mm-hmm. And so this is the back, and plenty of space there for whatever you want to put, right?
Yeah.
And
in the back, you can also put up to 4 figures.
Yeah, you can cram a bunch. That's another thing that I really like, is you can fit more than 2 figures in the vehicle. Yeah. I love, like, I've got an APC back here that fits, however many. This looks like it's actually bigger size-wise than the APC, but it holds more than 2 figures, which I love.
Yeah, the idea was that it's like, okay, let's make a vehicle that makes the difference. 2 figures fit a lot of vehicles, so I think let's make it bigger. And also the seats in the back, that doesn't go. They are not in the same position of the front.
Right. So it's not a bus.
Yeah.
They're not on the school bus.
It's not a school bus. Okay. And as you can see in the pictures, you can also put weapons inside, and you have plenty of space to do whatever you want.
Space there. You can put some weapons in. Here's another image of the green version with one layout. So this is just one combination. You can change the gun and what you see on the back.
Exactly.
And so this doesn't come with any decals or anything, right? Stickers?
No, in this time we don't have stickers, but we have a lot of ideas if the Kickstarter succeed, because we have another 3 colors in mind, and also have a stickers to add the Nightwolf then.
Are you able to say what those are? What those other colors are?
Yeah, we are thinking in gray, red, and blue.
Gray, red, and okay. Like
pretty G.I. Joe, right?
Oh, and that's so that winch on the front. That's a working.
Yeah, it's a working winch. Yeah. It also have working suspension, and the front wheels turns right and left. I can show you here in the prototype if you want.
Yeah, hold on. Let me.
As you can see here, the wheels turns, and we have a working suspensions on top and back.
Oh, and the back. Okay, I thought it was just the front. Oh, cool.
No, you have working suspension in the 4 wheels, and
awesome.
Have a pretty wide rotation, you want to say it. And of course, as a working suspension, you can customize it if you want, because as you have a spring here, you can cut it and make it lower, or put in a bigger one, and it's going to be like a monster truck in that case, right?
We got a comment from Dave C. Says a Cobra black one with gray camo would be deadly. Yeah, camouflage versions. This is so I if someone's able to buy multiples, I can see tons of custom possibilities, camo and all kinds of things. They can make a yellow adventure team one.
Yeah, it's the limit is your imagination. It's
right.
Like, yeah.
Right. Right. That vehicle is a beast. That could have been another name for it. The beast.
A beast.
I don't know if I finished going through these or not. But you've got, like, look at the gun he's holding. So he's holding that large gun there, and the doors will close around him, right?
Yeah. Yep. You can keep the gun and you close the door, and there's no problem with that.
And the interior, so this leaves it open if you want to put different, some kind of decals inside, like on that screen there on the right, which is cool. I like that. I like the detail there on the instrumentation, the dash panel there.
Yeah, that panel took a lot of time designing. It was like a week only from the panel.
And here's the image that shows the 3 different gun and I guess rear combinations. You can't really see the rear too good in this one, but you can see the 3 different gun combinations at one time on the vehicles. And I just want to let everyone know, just to be clear, I myself have ordered one of the black versions. If I was in a place to order one of each, I would have, but I went with black for now. It looks really cool. So I went with black. I think that's the last. Yeah, that's the last image I have. But yeah, I think I saw, if it was on the Zica Facebook page or somewhere, that they had mentioned about a red version to go with their Eagle Force stuff that's going on. So I thought that was interesting too.
That will be very interesting. That's the combination we have with Zica Toys. That it's like, I made the vehicles, you make the figures, and let's make an army.
Oh yeah. Classic Action Figure says Tiger Force version 2. I would be all over that. I love Tiger Force, so Marcelo, I would add a Tiger Force version to the list of the ones that you're gonna make.
Yeah, another Joe fan asked me for a Python patrol.
Oh, yeah.
Python patrol also, yeah.
Bill has a good question here. Any ideas on the package you can share? So is there going to be packaging for this?
No, there's no packaging for the Nightwolf.
Okay. Is it going to come assembled like we see here in the image, or do we put it together ourselves?
Yes, it's going to be assembled, and the only parts that are not going to be assembled, it's the modular parts. It's like you will receive a Nightwolf ready to play, and you can put the gun and the bag you prefer, and that's it.
Gaz has a good idea. Maybe a black one with a bit of custom paintwork to make it two-tone with a dark gray and a red stripe on either side. I think I know what he's going for there. Maybe like an A-team kind of vibe. I'm digging that. Oops. If I do one, it will be the green one. And so I think actually, let me see if I can do this. Hold on one second here. I think I can actually show you guys real quickly the actual Kickstarter page. So here we go. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can do it. And you've got, how much time do you have left on the Kickstarter right now?
It's like we are in the middle of the Kickstarter. It's like 18 days or 20 days to go. I think it's going to finish in April 15, 14 days to go. Yeah, we're in the middle.
So we've got, I want to make sure that you guys can see it. Okay, yeah, there we go. So this is the Kickstarter page. I put a link in here in the live. I also put a link in the description of this video if you're watching this on replay. Hey, Woodman says, hey guys, these are awesome. I just pledged for the black one. All right, Woodman, thanks, man.
Thank you.
So right now you've got 149 backers, 15,000 of 45,000 to go. So not quite halfway yet. And you've got a video here so people can come and watch the video here on the Kickstarter. And down here, you've got your story with Zica toys and more images here. Same images that we've shown here that you might be able to see in higher resolution here on the Kickstarter page. Oh, and who's that guy? Who's that handsome devil?
Yeah, I think I know him.
So that's Marcelo there showing off the prototype. And are you able to do international?
Yes, when we started the Kickstarter, we thought that international backers will be too expensive, the shipping charge. But a lot of people, especially from Europe, Canada, told us, I really want to pledge for a Kickstarter in the Nightwolf. And we decided to upgrade and allow international shipping. But we first want to send you the shipping quote, correct shipping quote. We don't want to charge you too much money for something that is, for example, for Canada, I don't want to say it's $100 and you can, I don't know, the shipping will be 35.
Right.
We don't want to overcharge the shipping. That's the reason why when the Kickstarter is finished, we will contact all of the international shippers, ask for the address, exact address, so we can give them exactly shipping charge.
And you also don't want to overextend yourself either. I've heard of other Kickstarters that haven't taken into consideration that shipping cost, and they've ended up losing money on the ones that they've sold internationally because it costs so much to ship it. So I completely understand wanting people to understand how that works.
Yeah, especially with a vehicle with such a big size, because you can estimate the shipping charge with a figure, But in this case, that we don't have another similar vehicle that you say, okay, this will weigh the same, or it's close to, I don't know, an APC, but we don't want to charge something that is not the right price, you know?
Right. Matt says, I really hope that you succeed. It looks awesome. Great to see you, Joe fan. Thanks, Matt. And I'm sure Marcelo thanks you too.
Thank you.
Dave C says, definitely will look at Marcelo's page. Awesome. I'm going to put the link there just one more time for those of you that weren't here at the top. Marcelo, did you have any real world inspiration for the vehicle? Is there anything that you took from either real world or a movie or a TV show when you designed this yourself, right?
Yes, the design of the Nightwolf was a combination of what I had in my head and also my partner, Andres. In English, you can say Andrew, and who is a designer. And well, we got together and said, what we can do? Okay, let's try to do it something like the Oshkosh. We like the size of the Oshkosh. It was the science inspiration was based on the Oshkosh. But we are both muscle car lovers and pickup truck lovers. And another friend of mine told me, you made a Frankenstein with an eyeball because you have several parts that looks like another vehicle. And there are, I don't know, maybe you show the eyeballs to 20 different people and the 20 will say, oh, I don't know, that looks like a Mercedes, that look like a Hammer or like a Jeep because of the round lights. It's kind of weird that from the same thing, there are so many different interpretations of what it is. It looks like, I don't know. Another told me that it looks like a Lanner vehicle. That I also have the Lanner vehicle. Some people say it looks like this one, and I think it's pretty similar, especially in size. But it's not like we were inspired in this vehicle, but someone noticed that it looks like, and that happened with several vehicles.
That's what I was thinking too, that it's like kind of depending on how you look at it. It kind of looks like one thing this way. And I was getting a little bit of, I forget the name of the vehicle from Aliens, that a little bit of that kind of, you know, I forget the name of it, you know, the vehicle in the second Aliens film.
Yeah.
And a tank and a big truck and yeah, and I think it works well being like that, because if you look at the history of Joe and Cobra vehicles, they're kind of, more so Cobra, they don't really have an exact real world parallel. You know, they're kind of one step outside of what you would see normally here in the real world. So I think it works really well with Joe and Cobra stuff.
The black one is someone that everybody related to Cobra. In fact, a guy told in one page on Facebook, this is not a Nightwolf, this is the Cobra Nightwolf.
Gaz says, this thing will look sick with some of those Joy Toy figures. I haven't gotten any Joy Toy figures. Have you, Marcelo?
I really like the Joy Toy figures. I didn't purchase any of them because they are way too expensive to ship into my country. And that's the reason why I don't have one. But as soon as I can get some of them, I will definitely have some Joy Toy figures.
Where are you located? You're not in the U.S.?
No, I'm not in the U.S. We are from South America, Uruguay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We are collectors here in South America too. Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Uruguay. There are a lot of collectors here.
Awesome. Yeah. We've got. Are you familiar with GI Joburg out of South Africa?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know, all over the world. That um, looking at the chat here to see. Action figure expert said the vehicle from Aliens was just called a PC. I think that's what he's saying. Yeah, the black one. I got the black one because in my head I'm picturing red Cobra logos
Yeah.
on there. And I think from what I saw, the black one is your most popular
Yeah,
version
the
so
black one is
far.
the most popular is the black one for sure. Yeah, it doubles the rest of the Nightwolf.
And guys on the chat, if you have any questions for Marcelo, please chime in. I think is there. Oh, Dave's from Canada. Dave, you live in the land that still has Toys R Us, so you live a very privileged life. Marcelo, do you have Toys R Us still down there?
No, we don't have Toys R Us here.
Did you ever, or did it close?
No, we never have one.
Never had. Oh,
No, never have one.
oh.
When I travel to the States, I usually buy a lot of toys, more than my sons, than my daughters. And I don't know, I try to collect as many as I can, but sometimes it's difficult here to find new stuff because several years ago, especially in the Real American Hero toy line, and here they produce it in Brazil and Argentina. So we have a lot of access with the classic figures from 1982 to 1989. You can find a lot of stuff here, and it's funny. But when we talk about new stuff, it's pretty hard to find here some new stuff. So I usually purchase it in the States when I travel or from the internet. And that's how I try to collect as many as I can.
I want to answer Woodman's got the question. He wasn't on earlier, I guess. He asked, any package art yet? And Marcelo said there's no packaging going to be on the Nightwolf. No packaging. Oh, here we got a good question for you, Marcelo. Which line of Joes do you collect?
Well, I actually collect a Real American Hero series and also the new sculpt figures from 25th anniversary from now. The Joes that I don't really like too much are the maybe 1993, 1994 to 1999. There are not so many Joes there, but the space stuff and neon colors and orange and are the ones that I don't really like too much.
So that goes to show you the breadth of fans out there. So personally, when I was a kid, I loved the Eco Warriors and Ninja Force and and all that stuff. Now I didn't hate the regular straight military guys, but I loved those things. So yeah, it just goes to show you. And Bill has a good question, reminded me. I was going to ask this too. If funded, when can we see these in hand? That's a good question.
Well, we have an estimate date that will be April 2022, but we think that we can do it better. I think maybe at the end of this year or January or February 2022, because that will depend on the factory.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something we cannot control.
I would like to think that nowadays people would understand, with everything that we've seen happen over the last year, that we need to be flexible with that kind of stuff. Now, some people will never, they'll never understand, and they'll want, as soon as they give you money, they want their thing in the hand. But yeah, so I was going to ask, so if this funds on a year, but hopefully sooner to have it in hand, which I think is awesome. Some Kickstarters last much longer. And I like the price point. If you consider the fact that one online exclusive figure from Kickstarters or other companies start around the $25, $30 range, but for this you're getting a whole vehicle for $60. I think it's a good price point myself. I wanted to ask you, if this does not fund, do you have plans to kind of regroup and try again? Like I've seen some other Kickstarters haven't funded. They've gone back, changed a few things, and they've launched it at a later date and it was successful. Do you have something like that in mind?
Well, yeah, we always have a plan B. Plan B, it's always there. And we also have a plan C, if we can say it, that a lot of people ask me about instead of 1/18 scale, make an Nightwolf in 1/12 scale because of the new G.I. Joes that are in Target exclusives and all that kind of things. And we are, I don't want to say a lot about that, but what I can say, we are working on it. We don't have a date, we don't have nothing specific, but we are working on it. And maybe there will be some news about it in the near future.
That is a very exciting thing to hear. I would imagine that the Nightwolf at that scale would be the size of a large dog.
It's kind of.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I think a lot about some of these Kickstarters. The most recent one I can think of is Action Force. If you're familiar with Bobby Valla and his Action Force line, he launched it initially and it didn't fund. He went, regrouped. I think he launched it within 6 months, and it's been very successful since then. So just because if something doesn't fund initially, there's always the possibility it can fund later. Gaz says, whoa, I can't imagine that in classified scale.
Yeah. What I told you, it's everybody wants that in that scale.
Marcelo, are you a fan of the classified figures? Do you have any of those? Are they easily accessible where you are?
No, here we don't have that figures. There's no Target here in Uruguay, and it's pretty hard to purchase one. But I don't quit. I will have a couple of them in the future. I have some friends and family in the States, and maybe they can give me a hand and purchase a couple for me and send it shipping here. It's gonna be like an adventure, but we can do it.
Are you in general, would you say that you're a 1/18 scale fan first over other scales?
Nowadays, we can say that, yes. I'm a big fan of the 1/18 scale, but as a kid, I have different scale toys, and I don't know, it's not like if it's not 1/18 scale, I don't like it. It's you can have a different kind of toys and have fun with all of them. That's the reason why a lot of people told me to make the Nightwolf in a bigger scale, and I really like the idea. It's maybe I'm a little far of the sensation of what's going on with 1/12 scale in the States right now, but it's okay. I think it's like an open market, you know. It's something that is growing, and I really don't know why Hasbro didn't make something in that scale yet. It's something that I don't really know why they didn't, because with all the sales that we saw in Target, that everybody was you take your car and drive maybe to 7 different targets to get a Viper or a Trooper. well, if you have that interest, I don't know why you have to make it a vehicle. I don't know, maybe a bump or a ram, something like that to start.
Yeah, they did have that one motorcycle with the Baroness figure.
Red one, yeah, I know.
Yeah, but that's been it. Classic action figure says it's pretty hard to get classified in the U.S. Yes, on April 9th, they're doing their Hasbro Pulse Fan Fest, and they're revealing the line of classified figures related to the new Snake Eyes movie. There may be a vehicle in there. I doubt it. But I would expect that we'll see at least some more smaller, maybe a couple other motorcycles. Like I'm anticipating for the movie line, maybe getting like some other variant of Snake Eyes with a motorcycle. That's one of the few things that we've learned, is that he does ride a motorcycle in the movie, because there's been footage of him from behind the scenes doing that. It's really the only thing that we know about this movie, is that he at some point he is on a motorcycle. Yeah, they haven't said anything about any other vehicles. That's the other thing, is that at this scale, I guess it's not as easy a sell. Because from what people have told me, fans, action figure collectors and stuff have told me, like when Hasbro did the TIE Fighter for the Star Wars Black Series, that it didn't sell well. So that's why we don't see more 6-inch Star Wars vehicles. I think that the snow speeder, but other than that, they haven't really done much. I don't know if it's the price or the size or what. Chris has a question. I don't know if he's asking you or me, but I'll throw it to you, Marcelo. Are you reading any of the G.I. Joe comics, the current comics at all from IDW?
Yes, I read some comics from IDW. I think it's the one that I read is that continued from the original Marvel series, and I think they did a pretty good job, because I'm a die-hard fan of the classic series, and it's like, okay, they continue from the point they finish, and it's like the same history and same characters and all that kind of things. The only one that I didn't like at all is when Snake Eye dies. It was like, why you did it? But okay, the rest is fine. I like it.
Chris has a follow-up question. Have you ever read the Devil's Due run of G.I. Joe from the early 2000s?
Yes, I have a couple of those, and Devil's Due. I didn't read an entire series, just a couple of comics. It was fun, but I prefer the IDW because they continue with the classic story. Especially for that, it's like a big fan of Die Hard, fan of classics, and I love when someone continues something that was successful and say, okay, let's keep going, and you have me.
That's really what kind of got me back into G.I. Joe as an adult, was when Image got the license. They were the original ones to get the license, and they started doing it, and then Devil's Due took it over. But I really enjoyed that line. I didn't last through the whole thing. I forget why, but I stopped at some point. But that was sort of a continuation of the classic line, but Larry Hama wasn't writing it, so it didn't feel exactly like it was. But it's worth it now. I believe that whole continuity is called the Disavowed universe. It's not really considered canon, but you might see characters from that pop up, in other places. Chris has a lot of questions tonight. Do you have one single favorite issue of G.I. Joe? That's a hard question.
It's a good question. G.I. Joe comic book, my favorite will be Marvel Comics original series. From issues 1 to 10 are my favorites because it's like the beginning of everything, and it's something I really like, the first times of the Marvel series.
Marcel, what was your first entry point to G.I. Joe? Were you 82? Is that when you got in?
I get in G.I. Joe's when in 1984.
Okay.
It was when I started collecting, yeah.
Yeah, I was 88. So
88.
yeah, I didn't know a lot of stuff that happened before. I found out much later. So are you prefer G.I. Joe to be a strictly military thing, or are you open to some of these other sort of sci-fi or other elements that they brought in later?
Well, I prefer the military stuff, but I also like the futuristic military stuff, like things that now you can see in Joy Toy figures that are, I think that is awesome. Also, Marauder Task Force, when they made those exosuits,
Oh yeah,
I think they were awesome. And all that kind of things that is related to military, I really like it. Also, would like to see some G.I. Joes, like more urban G.I. Joes, maybe a SWAT team or something like that. It will be nice because you have 3 or 4 characters that are related to a SWAT team, but we don't have a vehicle from a SWAT team. And maybe we can do something like gathering all together and make a team of, especially SWAT team. That is something I really like, or even police guys are also something that I would like to see in G.I. Joes.
So
but it's all related to military, yes.
Who would you say is your favorite G.I. Joe character, if you have one?
Well, I really have 3 favorite G.I. Joe characters. Rock and Roll was my first figure, and I really like it. But I also have as favorite Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. These are the big 3 for me.
Cobra. What about Cobra?
Cobra, my favorite is Storm Shadow for sure. And then we have I really like troops from Cobra. I like troopers like Vipers, Ally Vipers. Night Vipers are one of my favorites.
Same here.
Yeah. And also the Python Patrol is like my favorite army builders are Python Patrols.
You made me think of something and then I forgot what it was. Dave says the Saw Viper was pretty cool for the 90s. Great comic guy who is very dangerous. A lot of people think the Saw Viper is one guy because of that infamous issue in the Marvel comic, but he's actually, he's an army builder like all the other Vipers. Now, what would have been cool is if somehow they made that specific Viper, like if he got like promoted within Cobra and became like, he wasn't a Saw Viper anymore, he became like his own individual character. I think that could have been interesting. Looking at if you guys have any more questions, we're going to be wrapping up pretty soon. I like to keep these to about an hour. Marcelo, what time is it where you are right now?
Now it is 5 to 11.
11 a.m. or p.m.?
p.m.
p.m. Oh gosh, it's really late where you are.
No, it's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah, for some reason I thought you were here in the U.S. Just what I was thinking. So guys, I'm going to bring this up one more time here. Let me go back. I want to bring up these images here for the Nightwolf. So this, if you are not backing this yet, I highly encourage you to go check out the Kickstarter. Again, I put the link in here in the live chat, and also I'm going to put it in the description after this video processes and shows up on my channel. So you can go there and pledge. Yeah, there's lots of combinations here. Great for customizing if you are a customizer. I'm not a customizer. I'm a lazy customizer. Like, I like Marauders because you can really go as deep as you want, but you don't, like, I'll get the geared up figures that they have, and all I do is glue the stuff on, and that's it. It's done.
It's done, yeah.
Yeah. I don't do painting. I don't do sculpting. That's too much for me. I leave it to other people with better skills at that than me. But these vehicles leave you open to, you can use them as a Cobra vehicle, a Joe vehicle, some other faction vehicle, which I think is really great. And it looks like they got some really nice details on there. So I highly encourage you guys to go check that out. And classic action figures. I think maybe you didn't. I'm just seeing your comment now about favorite Joe and favorite Cobra characters. If you missed it, rewind a little bit after this, and you can. Marcelo went and answered that one already. Oh, so Gaz might have missed this one too. So Marcelo, if you want to answer this question, Gaz had any plans for other vehicles?
Well, plans are more than one, but the main thing that we were thinking when we designed the Nightwolf is that the Nightwolf is the first member of a big family, because we are planning to make like 4 more variations of the Nightwolf. I don't want to say too much yet, but we are working on variation of the Nightwolf, especially what means in the interior of the vehicle and the top of the roof.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you will see some different variations, and it's like this Kickstarter is like a scratch on the surface for us. We need to get this founded because we would like to make more vehicles. We also have a plane in mind. We have a couple of smaller vehicles that we are planning to design. Also, some kind of helicopter or chopper is not yet decided. But as you can see, we like to make big stuff, so they are going to be big. That's for sure. And okay, it's like we would like to take more time of our life designing vehicles and creating toys for what we love, instead of our regular job that we need to go. Okay, we have to pay the bills, but it will be fun to have something extra like this. It's more fun than other thing, you know.
Gaz is asking, do they have a tow hook? They do have the winch on the front.
Yeah, we have a working winch on the front, and we don't have a tow hook, but we designed the Nightwolf so you can add a tow hook in the back, because it's like a hole in the back that you can put a tow hook. And a lot of people ask for a tow hook. That's the reason why we didn't include it here, but we designed it so you can add one later.
That's awesome. Awesome. All right, we got, I think, maybe one more question here. I don't know if you'll be able to answer this one, Marcelo. Chris asks, who's your favorite artist who worked on the IDW G.I. Joe comic book series? Do you have any favorite artists?
No, I don't have a favorite artist. I really like the entire artwork from IDW. It's for me, the comic books, it's appreciate more the story, the story of the comic than other thing. One thing I had to mention, you say something about the Action Force from Bobby Bala.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the story behind those figures. It's a great comic. Something that I have to say thank you to Bobby Bala, because he contacted me like in July, August from 2020. He told me that he really liked my job. That's something I really appreciated. And he also said that maybe in the future we can do something together.
Awesome.
That will be something awesome too.
Yeah. I just recently got somebody gifted me those first 4 issues of the Action Force comic. I haven't read it yet, and I'm really looking forward. The covers are gorgeous. I love Sergeant Slaughter. So
Yeah.
oh,
I want to make a vehicle from the Zarge from Action Force. That will be something awesome.
I just want to highlight Robert. Hey, Robert, thanks for jumping in. We're going to be wrapping up here because it's right at the hour mark. So one last time, guys, head over to Kickstarter. Check out the Nightwolf 1/18th scale vehicle from Uru and Zica Toys. And if you're watching this on replay, check out the description for that link to go directly there. So I want to thank everyone for watching. And Marcelo, thanks for joining me. This has been awesome. I wish you all the luck. I hope this gets funded. And we'll see you out there, okay?
Okay, yeah. I would like to say thanks for the opportunity to show my work. So you can also spread the word about the Kickstarter. It was really, really funny to be here. I didn't notice that we were an hour talking. It's something amazing. And that's something that I really like about the collector world is I have conversations with Bobby Bala, with Craig from Zica Toys. Also at the beginning, I don't even know how to start about the design, and Marauder Gun Runners. I emailed him and he gave me a couple of advices, and that's something really, really nice in this world. It's like, okay, we are all in this together. We all love GI Joes. We all love collecting, and let's do something to have fun. That's the idea from this world, right?
Right. I think we all want everybody to do well and succeed with whatever project that they're working on, especially around GI Joe or something similar. So yeah, that's awesome. All right, guys, that's going to be it for us tonight for the Joe Fan 82 live stream. Make sure you tune in next week right here on Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be doing this. I will be doing this again, and I will be sure to let you know what I hear for updates for the Nightwolf Kickstarter. So thanks, everyone. Have a good night. Have a good week. And yo, Joe.
Yo, Joe.